Okay. Oh. Pile this stuff up over here. These tarps are big. Actually, it was one big one and I cut it in half. Kind of a pain to work with by yourself, but sometimes that's what you got to do. Especially if no one's around to help you. But, decided to get out and do this today. Give me something to do. I'd be carrying more of these boards, but at once, but I actually slept on my shoulder wrong, and it hurts really bad, so I'm just taking it kind of slow and steady. Oh. It's been a long winter, folks. Long winter. Get to the point where you got to force yourself to get outside. Tempting to just stay inside where it's warm. The boards are pretty heavy too. They're hardwood and they're pretty waterlogged right now. I'll probably end up just cutting these up, using them for maybe firewood for next year. Or actually got to build a little addition to my woodshed, so that'll be a later video. Yeah, I just figured it's time to get this thing off. Ooh, this one's heavy. Oh, ooh, there's a big one right here, folks. Probably 3-inch piece of solid birch. I was gonna use this, I think, for maybe a slab for like a countertop or something. But just got to work with what you got. But yeah, I'm taking the cover off this hugelkuktur now because I don't want it getting kind of anaerobic and stuff in there. I just want to let it breathe, and I'll get it formed and shaped good so I can access it at some point soon. I'm gonna have to build a bit of a fence around it because when I start planting my garden, I have some unwanted guests that'll be coming by, deer primarily, and they destroy gardens. Literally, I've done a number on my gardens in the last couple years, so I gotta do something to keep them out. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like having deer around. I just don't like them destroying the gardens that I put a lot of time and money into. Sometimes the wind can be your friend when you're working with tarps, but it can also sometimes be a pain in the butt if you're trying to fold them up and it keeps blowing over. It's not too bad out right now. but definitely nice to get in here and do something today. I was tempted to sit around the living room and watch the Masters all day, but that wouldn't be good. Gotta get outside and move around a bit, some exercise, and do something that's productive. Picked these tarps up online, forget where, but they're not cheap. Depends what you search for too. Search for silage tarp and they'll come up $400 or something. Search for farmer's plastic and they come up for like $100. So I've had this one now for like 4 years. All right, one down. That was a smaller one. The other one's a little bigger. Like I said, it was one big tarp altogether, but I cut it in half. I'll put this away in the shed. Grab a water. The shed will be another project this year. Getting that organized. I see a lot of little holes in here. I'm almost wondering if it's moles. The moles like to get in under the tarps, find a house. But once they start popping out of here, it's only a matter of time before the bird, the owl, and the hawk, and I've got eagles too around here, they'll start swooping in. They'll pick off the moles pretty quick, so I guess I don't have to worry about them. Got a fox that lives around here too, and a mink, so they help keep the rodents down. Oh, it's nice and fluffy. Let me get the rake and rake this part out a bit, and we'll get the other tarp off the other side. I don't know if you have one of these yet, folks, or not, but there's a landscaping rake. Super handy. It's like kind of really tough and it doesn't bend or anything, but it's great for stuff like this. It's actually good for all kinds of stuff. Lots of uses. Some nice cow manure here that I got from a neighbor. They have a lot of cows. I put wood chips under it. Sorry, moles. I'm gonna have to find a new home. Yeah, I'll probably do some work here on this backside before I fill it in, though. Like I was showing you earlier, it needs some filler. And that, I'll show you the pile here in a little bit of what I'm gonna use for that. So I'll put this rake over here for now. And I'll probably just get this other tarp off and then we can start filling it in and then we'll rake it after. See how tall it is? This is why I gotta knock it down. I wouldn't be able to reach up all the way up here and plant. It's a lot bigger than it looks, probably on camera. Oh. I was able to use up a good amount of the trees that I cut down. Well, I mean, I probably used a good chunk of them, really. You know, at least probably 5 or 6 full trees right in the bottom of that thing. When you clear land, it's tempting to want to just burn everything. But if you can find a use for it like this, where you can actually benefit from the trees breaking down over time and feeding a system like a hugelkuktur or a garden or whatever, use them for garden beds. You know, you're not taking anything away from the land, you're giving back to it and making it better. Of course, we did have to burn brush, a lot of brush, and that's okay. You have to do what you gotta do sometimes. You know, it would have been nice if I had a wood chipper, but those big wood chippers are expensive to rent, like $500 a day. And so it's kind of not really in the budget for that. Oh. Lots of projects this spring, so I'm gonna try to document them as good as I can. This is year 1 on the homestead. These boards here, red oak, or white oak, I don't know what, it might be white oak, but they're kind of reddish, so maybe red. I was gonna make flooring with them, but it didn't really happen the way I thought it was. I will use them for something though. See how heavy they are. Oak is very heavy. This is an example of what I'll be using on the other side. This is just a piece of poplar mushroom growing in it. You don't want to burn poplar in your wood stove because it creates creosote. But mushrooms have great bacteria for gardens. And so I'll take stuff like this and just fill in the holes on the back, and those will slowly break down, break into soil, turn into good soil that will benefit this hugelkuktur for many years. My neighbors, a lot of people thought I was like probably crazy. I know my mom was wondering what I was doing all summer, piling all this stuff up on here. Some people even thought it was gonna have to be magic for it to break down into soil, but we'll see about that. It was kind of funny though, seeing people's reaction, especially when it was all hay. Big mound of hay. It just looked like a giant green monster. It is very wet and muddy and clay and slippery back here. Good old muck boots. I'll tell you, doing this stuff without these would be a nightmare. The back side of this might take a while to get. That's all right. Good workout. Ooh. I really covered it up good. Luckily, I won't have to do this again next year. You can just let it do its thing. I just wanted to get some heat built up in there to kind of ignite the fire. Get stuff breaking down. Probably shouldn't have to tarp it again though. Giant piece of oak right here. Next winter, I gotta make a habit getting out more. Too easy just to stay inside, not get out, but whew, not good. Anyone thinking about moving out to the country? Drop a comment below. Yeah, I'm not big on, obviously, as you can probably tell, going to the gym and stuff. I need to be doing something. So projects like this are great for exercise. Same with sawmilling. I love sawmilling, and it's a huge workout. You gotta pick up big heavy logs, roll them over by hand, up and off, down off the tractor many times while you're doing it. All right, we'll try to do a few more boards on the back. But I'm gonna see if I can pull the tarp off now. Yep. Oh. There we go. Come on. All right, gotta get this folded up. Phew. Move the camera here. Big pine slabs I cut from a big pine tree. Probably use those in my tool shed for shelves. All right, let's see. Here comes the wind. Try to fold it here. So plan on growing a lot of cucumbers on this thing. Cucumbers love to be in mounds where the soil can get nice and warm. Same with watermelon. So I'll probably grow a lot of watermelon here too, even though we're in Maine. You go on Baker Creek Heirloom Seeds, rareseeds.com, and get, they got watermelon, little ones that only need like 80 days or so. I had some luck with them before, but I think with this mound now I'll have way more luck. That'll be fun. I think going from this side over here. Nope. Ah, come on. Pain in the butt. That's all right. This is why having two people do this tarp is really pretty good idea. But people aren't usually around when you need them for help. They're around just when you don't really need them. It's all right though. Okay. All right, this is gonna go in the shed. Deal with it later. Oh, good enough for now. I'll rake it down a bit. We'll go to the next phase of this video. Fill it in a bit, rake her down. Be good to go. Thanks for watching, subscribing. Trying to get 1,000 subscribers. Into the shed. We'll deal with you later. All right. Now I'm going to show you guys the pile of filler wood that we're going to start using over here. Here it is. So in here there's a lot of birch and poplar, and that is not really what I want to be burning in my wood stove. Birch is okay, but this is all wet, and I'll try to use the poplar first. So I'll get the wheelbarrow, load up some loads of it, and then I'll show you the back of the hugelkuktur now. This pile of wood here I'll use for some projects around. The addition to the woodshed will be one of them. So, but there's the hot tub. I might fire that up later today. Let's see the back side of this. So this is the little stream flowing into the pond. As you can see, it continually flows like a good amount. See all that? So this is the back side of the hugelkuktur, folks. You can see the layers. See those holes, those gaps? That's what we need to fill in with this wood that's breaking down, and then we'll rake it out a bit more, and pretty much it. That's what we're doing today. Go take a quick look at the pond. This is day number 1 with no ice on the pond. It's pretty clear. Go show you how the thing works. You go over here to the stream, flows over there, over to here, under the rocks here, and then into the pond, flows through the pond, out the other side. Right out here, and then it flows down through that culvert under the road. So it's kind of cool. So phase 2 coming up.